Good morning, every students. Have a nice day. Today we discuss the computer knowledge. Let's learn to the use of computers and the very important usage in computer system. Hardware of a PC. All the electrical, magnetic and mechanical components used in a computer system are called hardware. It refers to all physical and tangible things like machine, devices and other equipments connected with the computers that actually process data. These physical devices of a computer are classified into two, namely central processing unit and peripherals like input and output devices. A typical personal computer consists of the following hardware. Computer case. The main components of a computer are enclosed in a computer case. Cases are usually built with steel or aluminum. Cases can come in many different sizes. The size and shape of a computer case is usually determined by the form factor of the motherboard that it is designed to accommodate. Since this is the largest and most central component of most computers, at present the most popular form factor for desktop computers is ATX, Central Processing Unit. The Central Processing Unit or CPU is that part of computer with which executes instructions given in the form of programs. In older computers, this circuitry was formerly on several printed circuit boards, but in PCs is a single integrated circuit. Nearly all PCs contain a type of CPU known as microprocessor. The microprocessor plugs into the motherboard using one of many different types of sockets. Motherboard. The motherboard is the primary large printed circuit board with a personal computer. Many other components connect directly or indirectly to the motherboard. Motherboards usually contain one or more CPUs supporting circuitry, providing the interface between the CPU memory and input-output peripheral circuits. Main memory and facilities for initial setup of the computer immediately after power on. In many portable and personal computers, the motherboard houses nearly all the PC's core components. Main memory. Another critical component in computer is memory. The two most important kinds of memory are read-only memory, ROM, and random access memory, RAM. Computers can be read data stored in ROM but cannot write new data to it. With RAM, computers can read from and write to that memory. Without computer memory, every calculation on a computer would be stateless. Many desktop PCs have the capacity for additional RAM. The user simply has to open the computer and plug RAM chips into the appropriate sockets on the motherboard. A chip called the basic input-output system, BIOS, works closely with the CPU. BIOS is a specific kind of ROM. If you think of the CPU as the brain of the computer, then you might consider BIOS to be the spine. It is the job of BIOS to handle interactions between the software running on a computer and the machine's hardware components. Hard disk, magnetic disks are also known as a hard disk. The hard disk is direct access storage medium with a rigid magnetic disk. The data is stored as magnetized spots arranged in concentric circles, tracks on the disk. Each track is divided into sectors. The number of tracks and sectors on a disk is known as its format. High data rates demand that the disk rotates at a high speed about 3600 rpm. As the disk rotates, read-write heads move to the correct track. The disk is sealed and lubricated, and the head hovers on a cushion of air just above the disk to avoid damage. These are therefore called floating heads. The storage capacity of a hard disk can be gigabytes (GB), that is thousands of megabytes of information. Hard disk capacity continues to not only increase but increase at an accelerating rate from 10 MB in 1981. We are now well over 10 GB in 2000 and will probably hit 100 GB within a year for consumers drives. Video card. When the IBM PC was introduced, most existing business-oriented personal computers used text-only display adapters and had no graphics capability. The video card, also called a graphics and process and transfers the graphics output from the computer to the monitor and is an essential part of the modern computer. Today in many computer, graphics circuitry is integrated with the motherboard, but for modern flexible machines they are supplied in other formats. Visual display unit. A monitor is a commonly and at the same time powerful output device which is used to see data, graphics, images and all other type of information. A visual type display unit or monitor is a piece of electrical equipment that displays viewable images generated by a computer without producing a permanent record. Card reader. Interchange of data such as photographs from digital cameras is made it possible by installation of a card reader. It is usually faster and more convenient to move large amounts of data by removing the card from the mobile device instead of communicating with the mobile device through a USB interface. A USB flash drive performs much of the data transfer and backup functions formerly done with floppy drives and other devices. Mainstream current operating systems for personal computers provide standard support for flash drives, allowing interchange even between computers using different processors and operating systems. The compact size and lack of moving parts or data-sensitive media, combined with low cost for high capacity, have made flash drives a popular and useful accessory for any personal computer user. Drive base. Drive base. A drive bay is a standard sized area for adding hardware to a computer. Most drive bays are fixed to the inside of a case, but some can be removed. Drive bays are most commonly used to store disk drives, although they can also be used for front and USB ports, I/O bays and other uses. The drive base is usually just big enough for the drive to fit inside. For PCs, bays come into basic size 3-inch and 5-inch, which represents the base height. 3.5 bays are most often used today for mounting hardware, and 5.25 bays remain standard equipment for mounting CD and DVD drives. The number of drive bays in a computer determines how many mass storage devices can be internally installed. In addition, bays are described as either internal or exposed. An internal bay cannot be used for removable media such as floppy devices. It is to be noted that slots are different from bays, as slots are openings in the computer where expansion boards can be installed. Ports. A personal computer may have several ports for connecting devices, peripherals such as trackball, expanded keyboard, scanner, touch screen and other devices. An adapter will be needed if the port of the computer does not match with the connector of an adaptive device. Personal computers have various types of ports. Internally, there are several ports for connecting disk drives, display screens and keyboards. Externally, personal computers have ports for connecting modems, printers, mice and other peripheral devices. PS/2 port. IBM introduced it back in 1987. The port is the connection from the user to the personal computer. It allows for the connection of a mouse and a keyboard, and it enables the computer user to access functions typed in commands and generally communicates any need the user may have to the machine itself. Serial port. A serial port is a serial communication physical interface through which information transfers in or out one bit at a time throughout most of the history of a personal computers. Data transfer through serial ports connected to the computer to devices such as terminals and various peripherals. These ports allow for the connection of modem, which these days for many a user is the connection to the internet and the outside world. Almost all personal computers come with a serial port for connecting a modem or mouse and parallel port for connecting a printer. Parallel port. Even though parallel port may support other functions, it is almost always used for connecting printer. Input is important, but output is essential. This port will support a wide variety of printers and is one of the most important ports on PCs. The parallel port is an interface that uses a 25-pin connector. Universal Serial Bus USB. Fourth are the USB ports. Most computers will support at least 2 these ports, yet some may have more. This is one of the most popular ports found on PC. It is very user friendly. Once it is connected to a PC, it is automatically detected and set up with USB ports. It is easy to connect other peripherals such as printer and scanner to a computer. Without these kinds of ports, a computer would remain a one-dimensional machine with little user friendliness. VGA port. Fifth in line is the VGA port. This port connects the computer to the monitor and allows the user to actually see what he is creating. Without a monitor, it is impossible to ascertain one's progress, and without a VGA port, it would be impossible to hook up any kind of monitor. Firewire. This high-speed interface is found on newer PCs. It works well for digital video and audio. It is also good for connecting external hardware or other high bandwidth peripherals. Bandwidth is the amount of data or information on what can be sent over a network connection on a given period of time. Flash card. This type of ports allows user to read and write flashcards. Some types of flash card are compact flash. First and second, smart media, memory stick, multimedia card and secure digital. With the flash card ports, users can access data directly from the flash cards without having pair PDS, personal digital assistants or digital cameras connected to a PC. Legacy ports. These ports are the parallel, serial and game ports. These are fully or partially considered obsolete. Peripherals of a personal computer. A peripheral is a piece of computer hardware that is added to a host computer in order to expand its abilities. More specifically, the term is used to describe those devices that are optional in nature, attached to a personal computer to meet the varied requirement of the user. The term also includes all devices that are hooked up externally, typically through some form of computer bus like USB. Typical examples include joysticks, printers and scanners. Devices such as monitors and disk drives are not considered computer peripherals because they are not truly optional. Some of the peripheral devices attached to a personal computer are as follows. Headset. A headset is a headphone combined with a microphone. Headset provides the equivalent functionality of a telephone handset with hands-free operation. Headsets typically have only one speaker like a telephone, but also come with speakers for both ears. These are widely in call centers and other telephone-intensive jobs and for personal use at the computer to talk and type simultaneously. Webcam. A webcam is a video capture device connected to a computer or computer network and therefore it is an input device. These are small cameras that usually connected at the top of the computer monitor and are used to transfer both still and video directly to the computer. The most popular use of webcam is for video telephony, permitting a computer to act as a video phone or video conferencing station. Sound cards and speakers. Sound cards are an integrated circuit that generates an audio signal and sends it to a computer's speakers. The sound card can accept an analog sound and convert it to digital data that can be stored in an audio file, or accept digitalized audio signals and convert them to analog signals that can be played on the computer's speakers. On a personal computer, the sound card is usually a separate circuit board that is plugged into the motherboard. A sound card is an expansion card that facilitates the input and output of audio signals from a computer under control of computer programs. Typical uses for sound cards include providing the audio component for multimedia applications such as music composition, editing, video or audio, presentation, education and entertainment. Many computers have sound capabilities built in, while others require additional expansion cards to provide for audio capability. Another peripheral device that can be used along with a personal computer is speakers. This device converts an electrical signal from an amplifier into sound. A loudspeaker driver is an electromechanical acoustic device with two electrical input terminals to which an electrical signal is applied, and a diaphragm which vibrates and radiates sound. An electromechanical motor mechanism exerts a force on the diaphragm to cause it to vibrate. Removable storage. The same kinds of CD and DVD drives that could come built in on our computer can also be attached externally. We might only have a CD-ROM drive built into our computer, but we need a CD driver to burn CDs. The same is true for DVD writers. Flash drives have become very popular forms of removable storage, especially as the price of flash drives decreases and possible size for them increases. Printers. In computing, as a printer is a peripheral which produces a hard copy of documents stored in electronic form, usually on physical print media such as paper or transparencies. Many printers are primarily used as a logical and local peripherals and are attached by a printer cable or, in most new printers, a USB cable to a computer which serves as a document source. Some printers, commonly known as network printers, have built-in network interfaces and can serve as a hard copy device for any user on the network. Video card. A video card, also known as graphics card, is an expansion card whose function is to generate and output images to a display. Some video cards offer added functions such as video capture, TV tuner adapter, ability to connect multiple monitors and others. Network card. A network card is an expansion card that allows computers to communicate over a computer network. It allows users to connect to each other either by using cables or wirelessly. Although other network technologies exist, Ethernet has achieved near ubiquity for a while now. Every Ethernet network card has a unique 48-bit serial number called MAC address, which is stored in ROM carried on the card. You can learn more about networking in the Introduction to Networking lesson. USB, Universal Serial Bus, is a serial bus standard to interface devices. USB was designed to allow many peripherals to be connected using a single standardized interface socket and to improve the plug and play capabilities by allowing devices to be connected and disconnected without roboting the computer. Other convenient features include providing power to low consumption devices without the need for an external power. Input-output devices. The peripheral devices form a very important part of a computer system. The input-output devices and secondary storage units of a computer are called peripherals. They are connecting link for the computer to the external world. The main operations that a computer system performs are input, processing and input, and output. The central processing unit of a computer can process data at a great speed, and this facility can be exploited only if data and instructions are fed into the computer system by means of peripheral units. Peripheral devices are used to feed data and instructions to the computer systems. Processed data are also presented through peripheral devices. The term peripheral is used in a wider sense. It also includes data recording media. A number of input devices are used such as keyboard, paper and creator, magnetic tape drive, hard disk drive and floppy disk drive. Input devices. An input device is any device that provides input to a computer. There are many input devices, but the most common ones are a keyboard and mouse. Data and instructions are entered into a computer through input devices. The following are the important types of widely used input devices. Keyboard. Keyboard is an important data entry device. Programs and data are entered into a computer through a keyboard which is attached to a microcomputer or the terminal or a mini or large computer. A computer keyboard looks like an ordinary typewriter keyboard. All keys found in a typewriter are also available on a keyboard. It contains alphabets, digits, special characters and control keys in addition to the usual keys. Computer has some special keys known as function and operating keys. These keys are used for correcting data and also used for performing certain sequence of instructions automatically when pressed. Different functions can be assigned to these keys according to the system or application program. The keys on computer keyboards are often classified as follows: alphanumeric keys, letters and numerals; punctual keys, comma, punctuation keys, comma, period, semicolon, and so on; special keys, function keys, control keys, arrow keys, caps lock key, and so on. The basic QWERTY layout of characters is maintained to make it easy to use the system. The standard layout of letters, numbers, and punctuation is known as QWERTY, QWERTY keyboard because the first 6 keys on the top row of letters spell QWERTY. IBM keyboard contains keys like page up, page down, home, and caps lock, print screen, etc. Mouse is a pointing device that controls the movement of the cursor or pointer on a display screen. A mouse is a small object that can roll along a hard and flat surface because it is operated by 2 rotating wheels. Its name is derived from its shape, which looks a bit like a mouse. The connecting wire of the mouse can be resembled with the mouse tails when a cursor and user moves the mouse across a flat surface. The cursor also moves in the direction of mouse movement. The cursor can be positioned anywhere on the screen. Mouse may contain 1 or 2 buttons which has different functions depending upon what program is running. Modern mouse also include a scroll wheel or for scrolling through long documents, invented by Douglas Engelbart of Stanford Research Center in 1963 and pioneered by Xerox in the 1970s. There are different types of mouse like mechanical, optomechanical, optical, and cordless mouse. Trackball. A trackball is an input device used to enter motion data into computers or other electronic devices. It serves the same purpose as a mouse, but it is designed with a movable ball on the top which can be rolled in an direction. Trackball is an input device that is mostly used in notebook or laptop computer instead of a mouse. Touch screen. Touch screen is a type of display screen that has a touch sensitive transparent panel covering the screen. Instead of using a pointing device such as a mouse or light pen, one can use this finger to point directly to objects on the screen. When you touch the surface of such a screen, it detects exactly where you touched it. This input device is widely used on ATM machines, retail point of sale terminals, car navigation systems, medical monitors, and industrial control panels. Touchpad. This is another type of pointing device used in portable computers. A touch-sensitive pad is used to point finger on a desired object or placed on the screen. It is an alternative to the mouse. Originally incorporated in laptop computers, touchpads are also being made for use with desktop computers. A touchpad works by sensing the user's finger movement and download pressure. Light pen. Light pen is an input device that utilizes a light sensitive detector to select objects or on a display screen. Graphic tablet. A graphics tablet allows data to be input in much the same way as a mouse. This input device that enables an artist to draw or sketch digitally using a pen or stylus. We slide the stylus along the surface of the tablet, which then inputs our movement into the computer. But the arm and hand movement is more natural than a mouse for creating sweeping lines and curves. Digital camera. Digital camera is used to feed image input to the computer. These images can be manipulated in many ways using the various imaging tools available. The digital camera takes a still photograph or video, stores it, and then sends it as digital input into the computer. The images are then stored as digital files. These devices are connected to the computer by cable or transmit data wirelessly. Webcams. Webcam is input device that connects to a computer and the internet and captures either still pictures or motion video of a user or other object. This is an input device because it can capture video image for further processing. It is either built into the computer monitor or laptop or connected through an USB cable. The images captured by webcam are sent to the computer for further processing by webcam software. Webcam can be used for chatting, teleconferencing, and for security purpose. Joystick. Joystick is also a pointing device which is used to move the cursor position on a monitor screen. It is a stick having a spherical ball at its both lower and upper ends. The lower spherical ball moves in a socket. The joystick can be moved in all four directions. Scanners. Scanner is an input device which works more like a photocopy machine. It is used when some information is available on paper and it is to be transferred to the hard disk of the computer for further manipulation. A scanner operates by digitizing an image. Scanners can convert photographs and flat documents into electronic images. Both color and black and white images can be created. Microphone. Microphone or mic is used to convert the spoken word to a digital signal for computer input. It allows computer users to input audio into their computers. The microphone converts audio signals to electrical waves, and these can be converted by electronic circuitry in the computer to digital form. The microphone is plugged into the back of the desktop computers into the computer sound card microphone port, and depending on computer case may also have a port on the front. On a laptop computer, the microphone is plugged into the microphone port found on the front or side of the laptop. When a microphone is used to record a voice or music, the information it records can be stored on the computer and played back later. Another example of how a microphone is an input device is with voice recognition, which uses your voice to command the computer at what task to perform. Magnetic ink character recognition, MICR. MICR can identify character printed with a special ink that contains particles of magnetic material. MICR input device is generally used in banks as there are large number of checks to be processed every day. The bank's code number and check number are printed on the checks with a special type of ink that contains particles of magnetic material that are machine readable. Optical mark recognition, OMR. OMR is a special type of optical scanner used to recognize the type of mark made by pen or pencil. It is used where one out of a few alternatives is to be selected and marked. It is especially used for checking the answer sheets of examinations having multiple choice questions. Barcode reader. Barcode reader is a device used for reading barcode data in the form of light and dark lines. Barcoded data is generally used in labeling goods, numbering the books, etc. It may be held scanner or may be embedded in a stationary scanner. Output devices. There are different kind of output devices. Output devices receives information from the CPU and presents it to the user in the desired from. The processed data stored in the memory of the computer is sent to the output unit, which then converts it into form that can be understood by the user. The absolute most common internal output device is a monitor. Other very popular output devices are printers and speakers. Monitors. Monitor is computer screen or display. Monitor is an output device that resembles the television screen. It may use a cathode ray tube CRT to display information. The monitor is associated with a keyboard for a manual input characters and displays the information as it keyed in. It also displays the program or application output. Like the television, monitors are also available in different sizes. There are three main types of monitors: the CRT or cathode ray tube monitor, the LCD flat panel monitor, and the TFT LCD monitor. Each has their own advantages. CRT, cathode ray tube monitor. This is the most inexpensive monitor in the market today, and it looks like our traditional TV set. A monitor unit is capable of displaying alphanumeric characters and graphs. A CRT display unit displays characters in multicolor. Displays are available in blue, green, orange, yellow, etc. Black and white colors can also be obtained. Information that is fed using the keyboard is displayed on the screen. The main advantages of these are the size and weight of the tubes. The other major drawback deals with the power consumption. The energy needed for the electron beam means that the monitors consume and generate a lot more heat than the LCD monitors. LCD flat panel monitor, liquid crystal display. LCD monitors were first developed for use with laptop computers, also known as a flat screen monitors. They are becoming more and more common these days. When initially introduced in the market, these flat screens cost quite a high price, but with its popularity and wide usage, prices are continuing to drop. The biggest advantage to LCD monitors is their size and weight. LCD screens also tend to produce less eye fatigue to the user. The most notable disadvantage to LCD screens is their fixed or native resolution. An LCD screen can only display the number of pixels in its matrix and no more or less. TFT LCD monitor, a thin film transistor TFT LCD monitor is now being more widely used with LCD monitors because of its high level of resolution and sharpness. The only difference is a thin film transistor that is applied to the screen, which results in better control of pixels. Printers. Printed output is the most common form of visual output. Printers are used to produce paper output, generally known as hard copy. Thus, computers can produce printed reports and documents such as invoices, payroll reports, and bank statements. The format of the output is designed by programmers. Based on the technology used, they can be classified as impact or non-impact printers. Impact printers. When a part of printer impact or presses the paper into print a character is known as impact printers. It can print a character or line at a time. It uses the typewriting printing mechanism wherein a hammer strikes the paper through a ribbon in order to produce output. Dot matrix and character printers fall under this category. Dot matrix printers. This is the most popular type of serial printers. A character is printed by printing the selected number of dots from a matrix of dots. Each letter is formed with a series of dots. A character is printing using 5 dots rows and 7 dots of columns. This pattern is called 5x7 dot matrix. In dot matrix printers, small prints are arranged in rectangular matrix of 5x7. Characters to be printed are sent one character at a time from the memory to the printer. The signals from the computer activate the appropriate pins in the print head. These pins are moved forward to form a character and they hit the carbon ribbons in front of the paper, thereby printing that character. Most of the dot matrix printers are bidirectional. They can print one line from left to right and on return, print the next line from right to left. This speeds up printing. Non-impact printers. A non-impact printer does not strike the paper, but ink used for printing is sprayed by other means. This type of printers does not touch the paper while printing. They use chemical, heat or electrical signals to etch the symbols on paper. Inkjet, deskjet, laser, thermal printers fall under this category of printers.